Heads up, the weather pattern is about to turn very busy as we head toward the middle of the month, and next weekend could be especially wild. We're looking at a storm setup that may bring everything from severe thunderstorms to snow and ice, depending on where you live. The details are still shifting, but the signals are strong enough that you need to stay alert. We'll break down what's showing up right now, then go over today's forecast before wrapping up. Good Thursday morning. I hope you're doing great. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and tap the like button if you find these updates helpful. Let's jump straight into it. Take a look at this latest European model run from overnight. We're starting across the central United States and then we'll move east. Watch this timeline carefully. We're beginning about 1 week out, next Thursday morning, February 12th. There appears to be a storm system developing across the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. Right now, most guidance agrees something forms here, though it may lean warmer. That means some snow up north, but possibly freezing rain or mixed precipitation as low pressure drags warmer air into parts of the region. Now watch what happens as we move toward next weekend. This is where things start getting interesting. By Friday morning the 13th, moisture surges north from the Gulf while colder air tries to press south. Notice how the storm track shifts further south. You can see snow potential reaching into the Texas Panhandle, with rain and snow mixing across Oklahoma. Meanwhile, the low pressure center begins tracking northeast through the Mississippi Delta. On the colder side, snowfall expands. On the warmer side, severe weather ingredients could begin building across the deep south. But don't lock in severe storms just yet. Some solutions keep the stronger severe setup farther south. Still, watch this radar evolution. By Friday evening, the model shows a fast-moving snow event across parts of the Midwest, while widespread rain and thunderstorms develop across the Mid-South and Deep South. As the system pulls away, colder air wraps in, bringing backside snow across sections of the Midwest and Ohio Valley. And this may not be the only system in line. The pattern suggests more activity could follow. Now let's compare this with the GFS model. Around the same time frame next Thursday, it doesn't show that first upper Midwest storm as strongly, so there are timing disagreements. But watch the southern states. Moisture surges north just like the European model shows. This setup supports heavy, wet snow around the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles, with widespread rain eastward. As the storm organizes, the GFS still shows a low moving from the southwest toward the northeast, though not as aggressively as the European model. That likely means a lower-end severe threat, but it still supports snow stretching from northeastern Oklahoma into parts of the Midwest. By late Friday into Saturday morning, the GFS suggests heavy, wet snow could develop from near St. Louis toward Indianapolis before the system pushes east. So while the details differ, both major models are showing impactful weather. Let's bring in the Canadian model. It's not always the top performer, but it handled last weekend's system surprisingly well. About a week out, it also shows a storm across the upper Midwest, though timing varies again. Then comes the main storm. The Canadian pushes it even farther south compared to the other models. Snow extends into Nebraska and eastern Colorado, with a rain and snow mix possible across northern Arkansas and southern Missouri. This solution keeps the storm flatter overall, producing heavy rain across much of the deep south and fewer thunderstorm concerns. However, it develops significant snow across Kentucky and surrounding areas as colder air wraps into the system. So across the central U.S., confidence is growing that this period will be active. The exact impacts still need refinement, but this has the potential to deliver major weather across multiple states. Now shifting east, we're tracking that same system. First, the earlier storm next Thursday mainly brings rain to the southern states, while colder air supports winter weather across the Great Lakes and southeastern Canada. The northeast could see a winter storm initially, though some areas may flip to rain depending on temperatures. Then comes the system grabbing most of our attention. Watch this map carefully. The European model drives low pressure straight through the Mid-South and into the Ohio Valley by Friday evening. That places heavy snow on the colder side and widespread rain with thunderstorms farther south. It even shows a corridor of freezing rain across parts of Ohio. If this solution verifies, it would be a powerful storm with both a winter weather threat and a severe weather risk. Take a look at this severe weather setup. By Friday morning, the European model shows strong thunderstorms forming across Mississippi and Alabama. Notice how the low pressure sits far to the north. That positioning allows warm, humid air to surge north while strong wind energy rides overhead. That combination often supports severe weather outbreaks. You can even see dew points climbing into the 60s, which is unusually moist air from mid-February. When you combine that moisture with a strong low-level jet, potentially reaching 50 to 60 knots, you start checking serious severe weather boxes. Now let's look at the GFS severe outlook. It still shows a large moisture field spreading across the deep south and mid-south, but it's less aggressive with the severe weather ingredients. Thunderstorms are still possible, but the focus might shift more toward heavy rain and snow along the northern edge of the storm. The GFS also suggests snowfall expanding into Pennsylvania and the higher terrain of Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia, before possibly extending into southern New England as the system evolves into a longer duration winter event. The Canadian model again favors a flatter storm track. That leads to widespread rain across the southeast, while snow expands from Tennessee into Kentucky, West Virginia, and parts of the mid-Atlantic. This solution would limit severe storms but increase the winter storm footprint. Now take a look at the Euro AI guidance. This one briefly showed a colder scenario with winter weather reaching deeper into the southeast, even suggesting snow potential across the Carolinas. That would be a very different outcome. However, newer runs appear warmer and aligned closer with other model guidance. Still, this is why you need to stay tuned. Small shifts in temperature profiles could dramatically change who sees snow versus rain. One thing seems very clear. The overall pattern is turning highly active. Watch this pressure pattern animation. Blue colors dominate much of the lower 48 around a week from now, indicating frequent low-pressure systems. That usually translates to multiple storm chances. The Climate Prediction Center leans toward above-average temperatures across large portions of the country during this period. That suggests more rain events overall, but winter storms are still possible if colder air sneaks south. February often ramps up jet stream energy as winter winds down, which supports more storm development. Looking at longer-range signals around days 10 through 14, there are indications of another strong storm system crossing the country. The precipitation outlook shows elevated chances for wetter than normal conditions across much of the eastern United States. Ensemble averages from the European model also support widespread moisture over the next 2 weeks, with the best snow potential staying across northern states for now. But remember, trends can change quickly. Let's talk about today. A fast-moving clipper system is diving into the Great Lakes, bringing snow across parts of that region. Meanwhile, lighter snow and a wintry mix are occurring across western North Carolina. Some flurries could drift as far south as Columbia, Augusta, or even Myrtle Beach later today, so don't be caught off guard. Winter storm watches are now posted across parts of Pennsylvania, western Maryland, and West Virginia as another strong clipper arrives. Winter weather advisories continue across portions of North Carolina and Virginia. The southeast will stay chilly today, and lingering moisture could lead to flurries, sleet pellets, or even freezing drizzle in spots where temperatures hover near freezing. Take a look at this coastal system. It's intensifying offshore, and if the upper-level pattern had aligned slightly differently, parts of the Carolinas could have seen another significant winter storm. The setup was very close, but the energy tracked just a bit too east. Across the northeast, conditions remain fairly quiet today, though scattered snow showers may drift into western areas tonight. By tomorrow morning, that reinforcing clipper blasts through the Ohio Valley. Watch this closely. Heavy snow could sweep across Indiana, Ohio, northern Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia, with bursts of intense snowfall that may reduce visibility quickly. Snow totals over the next 24 hours look modest overall, but impactful. Parts of Michigan and Wisconsin could pick up several inches. Detroit may see around 2 inches combined from both systems. Across Indiana and Illinois, including Chicago and Indianapolis, snowfall amounts depend heavily on the storm track, and even small shifts could increase totals. Ohio and West Virginia also look likely to pick up a few inches, with higher elevations possibly exceeding 6 inches. Meanwhile, the western United States stays quiet and unusually warm. Temperatures could reach the 70s in parts of Montana, which is remarkable for this time of year. So, here's the bottom line.
The weather pattern is shifting into a very active phase. Multiple storms are possible, and next weekend's system could bring a dangerous mix of severe storms, heavy rain, snow, and ice, depending on where you live. The details will continue to change, and we'll keep refining the forecast as new data comes in. Make sure you stay weather aware, especially if you live across the Midwest, Deep South, Ohio Valley, and Northeast. This is a setup that could evolve quickly. Yes, very quickly. I'll be monitoring every model update and breaking down the changes as they happen, so if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. Stay safe, take this seriously, and I'll see you in the next forecast.